From young rapper to 90s icon and movie megastar, Willard Carroll Smith Jr. has had anything but a boring life so far. Better known as Will Smith, he is one of Hollywood's most prolific and beloved actors. Well, he was, until he fairly recently assaulted and humiliated comedian and fellow actor Chris Rock on stage at the 2022 Oscars, which I'm sure everyone heard.
Oh, Richard! Oh, wow! Wow! Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
If you would like to hear an exclusive on Will and Chris's situation currently, stay tuned to the end of the video. Nonetheless, Will Smith has had an incredible, fruitful career, getting casted into playing some of the most colossal roles in Hollywood. He has played Muhammad Ali the boxer in Ali, the wish-granting genie in Aladdin, Mike Lowrey in the Bad Boys franchise, giving up the role of Neo in Matrix, most recently playing Richard Williams in King Richard, and of course playing himself in the also-popular Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and that's just to name a few. His talents and charisma are familiar worldwide. Still, there are many incredible things about him that even his biggest fans and supporters don't know. You don't want to miss this. Welcome to Black and Gold Entertainment, and in the spirit of this episode, let's get jiggy with fresh facts about the Fresh Prince. We'll be finding out how successful was his rap career, what world records does he hold, what is it really like being married to Jada Pinkett Smith, what's the latest with the Oscars situation, what his relationship with his kids is like, how he got the name The Fresh Prince and also managed to star in a world-famous sitcom that's loosely based on his life.
I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." No!
And much more. Make sure to watch till the end to find out. This is the Genesis. Let's talk about Will's early life. Will Smith was born on September 25, 1968, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His mother, Caroline, was a school board employee, and his father, Willard C. Smith, owned a refrigeration company. He also has an elder sister named Pamela and two younger siblings, twins, named Harry and Ellen. He attended the strict Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic school, despite his family being Baptists. Later, he went to Overbrook High School. In high school, Will was given the nickname Prince Charming, which he later adapted to the Fresh Prince because it sounded cooler and trendier for the time. He allied with schoolmate and DJ Jeffrey Towns, aka DJ Jazzy Jeff, and they began recording music as a duo, crafting out different ideas they could potentially use. Their first single came, Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble. It was released in 1986, followed by the Rock the House album, and it did reasonably good. But in 1988, the group came up with the groundbreaking single, Parents Just Don't Understand, which won a Grammy Award, the first Grammy ever presented in the rap performance category. Smith's style was notable for its wide crossover appeal. It was sometimes defined as light rap because of his compositions and lack of hardcore lyrics. So the single, Parents Just Don't Understand, was doing amazingly well. Then their sophomore album dropped and it went 3 times platinum. Will was on a high from his music doing so well. Between the single getting a Grammy and the album going 3 times platinum, he was on cloud 9. For the first time in his life, Will had a taste for fame, money, and success, and he liked it. He says, "I had motorcycles, I had cars, and I even called the Gucci store in Atlanta and asked them, 'Hey, would you close it down if I'd bring my friends?'" With all this happening, next came the third album. Probably thinking it was going to be much like the previous album, maybe go platinum, possibly win a Grammy or at least be successful. Unfortunately for the Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff, what goes up must come down. The album, in Will's words, was an absolute flop. Quote unquote, it done double plastic. Well, when it rains, it pours. And in this case, there was no exception. Will had been spending so much money from his album selling so well, purchasing cars, clothes, and anything else he desired, until he had spent all of his money, and he had gone completely broke. If that wasn't bad enough, it got worse, because he didn't pay Mr. Taxman.
We released our next album, and it was like a flop. It was a tragedy. It went like double plastic.
I had spent most of my money, like all of it. I spent all my money.
And I didn't forget, but I didn't pay the IRS. In my mind, I mean, I wasn't like trying to avoid paying taxes. I was just like, oh damn, they need their money. The IRS took all of that stuff, so I was like broke. Being famous and broke is a shitty combination, because you're still famous and people recognize you, but they recognize you while you sitting next to them on the bus. And the stuff they ask you to sign on a bus, you know, like, ooh, can you sign my baby? That's a Sharpie. I probably shouldn't just write on the baby with that. Oh, you too big to sign my baby. Well, no, I mean, you know, so I signed it.
No money, zero prospects, ambition slipping, confidence fading. It was sad times for the Fresh Prince, and things were not looking any brighter. However, things were about to change dramatically for Will because, you probably guessed it, this is the part of the story of how the Fresh Prince became the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Living with his then girlfriend at the time, she encouraged and pushed him to get out there and at least try to do something, especially if he wasn't going to rap anymore. Will ended up going to the Arsenio Hall show one night, thanks to his girlfriend's forced encouragement, where he met a guy called Benny Medina, who turns out was the real-life Fresh Prince before the Fresh Prince. They begin talking, and Benny proceeds to pitch Will this great idea he had been working on for this TV show, and he wanted Will to be a part of it. Will's slightly reluctant at first, saying he's not an actor, he's a rapper, he's never done anything like this before. Eventually, he agrees to Benny's proposal. Oh, and by the way, Benny says, Quincy Jones will also be producing it with me.
So I was like laying around, and my girlfriend was like,
dude, we're not doing this. Like, you're not just gonna be laying around this house all day. You're gonna go do something.
And I was like, what? What am I supposed to do?
Go where people is doing it.
Where are people doing it?
Go to the Arsenio Hall show.
Just go stand around at the Arsenio Hall show?
Yes.
That's stupid.
So I went to the Arsenio Hall show.
And I met a dude named Benny Medina. And Benny Medina is the real-life Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, except he actually went from Watts to Beverly Hills. Same basic concept, way shorter distance. I meet Benny, and he pitches me the idea for this show, and I'm like, you know, I'm not an actor. I'm like, cool. And he says, hey, you know, I want you to meet Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones is producing with me.
Now, just in case any of you guys and girls watching out there have not been here, possibly due to a coma, abduction, or any number of reasons for the past however many decades, and you do not know who Quincy Jones is? Well, Quincy is by anyone's standards a genius. He has composed, produced, played, and worked with individuals such as Frank Sinatra, Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, Ella Fitzgerald, and even Miles Davis. Arguably the coolest man who ever lived. He's been awarded 28 Grammys, and he's even been awarded a Legend Award. And that's just scratching the surface of the things this man has achieved. So Benny takes Will to meet Quincy at his home, and he immediately takes a liking to him. Quincy says to Will he's heard his music and seen his videos, and he loves what he's been doing. Over time, as one thing led to another thing and another thing led to another, history was made.
So I find myself at Quincy's, And there's actors and artists and celebrities and politicians, like everybody's at Quincy's house. It's like The Wiz without the costumes. So Benny walks me in and introduced me to Quincy. I'm like, hey Q, what's up, man? He's like, hey man, you know, I saw your music videos. I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Tell me your rap name again. They call me the Fresh Prince. All right, good. That's what we're gonna call the show. And he handed me a screenplay for a failed Morris Day pilot. Like, I don't have the time. So I need you to do this. I need you to go ahead, take a few minutes, take 10 minutes, study the script, and I'm gonna clear all the stuff out the living room, and we're gonna have everybody sit down in the living room. We're gonna do an audition. He had movers that could reset his furniture. I was like, this dude is real. So he goes out, tells everybody, come on, come on, come on. And I was like, hey Q, hold up, man, hold up. I'm not ready to do no audition. And he said, oh, all right. Well, what you need? Tell me what you need. Just set the meeting for a week and I could do it. He said, yeah, you know, Brandon Tartikoff, the head of NBC, is out there. I'll get him the schedule for next week. And then you know what's gonna happen? Something gonna come up and then he's gonna have to reschedule. Oh, yeah. So 3 weeks from now, Q, we can do it 3 weeks from now. I said, yeah, 3 weeks from now will be good. Or you could take 10 minutes right now and you can change your life forever. And I was like, it then. Yes, give me 10 minutes. I said yes, and I let it rip. And I got to the end, and everybody is clapping. Quincy looks at Brandon Tartikoff, the head of NBC. Did you like it? And Brandon said, yeah, I liked it. Quincy says, no, did you like it? And he's like, yeah, I liked it. He's like, good, you're his lawyer. Draw me up something right now. Damn, Quincy ordering other people's lawyers around. Like, that's his lawyer, Quincy, leave that man alone. And Quincy turned to me and he was like, hey, Will, you got a lawyer? Quincy, I'm broke. If I had a lawyer taking 5%, he'd owe me money right now. He was like, all right, and he turned to his assistant. He was like, get Will a lawyer. Quincy had been drinking. You know, it's probably obvious from the story, but he had been tasting. He had wet his beak a little bit that night. Yeah, so the lawyers go out in a limo and they're drawing up the first deal for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Quincy is like popping up at the window, no paralysis, do analysis. No paralysis, do analysis. I'm like, how did he make Thriller like this? So we got the lawyers draw up something. Ken Hertz looked it over for me, Brandon Tartikoff, and we took a picture and we signed the basic deal for the Fresh Prince. And 3 months later, we were shooting the pilot. And that's the story of how I became the Prince of Bel-Air. So the moral of the story is always say yes, and I guess listen to your girlfriend.
All that hard work Will had put in with his music was only the beginning. Will had a date with destiny. Thanks to his girlfriend, certified recordings, vivid videos, initiative, will, and ambition. He finally got the attention of television producers, and the famous sitcom, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, was born. It began in 1990, ended in 1996, and it was loosely based on Smith's real life, with the assistance of Benny, of course. Some of the other actors and actresses were Karen Parsons, who played Hillary, Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton, Tatiana Ali, who played Ashley, Joseph Marcel, who played Jeffrey the Butler, Janet Hubert, who played the original Vivian, Daphne Reed, who played the second Vivian, Bernie Watson, who played Will's mother Viola, and of course, rest in power to James Avery, who played Uncle Phil. It ran on NBC for 6 successful seasons, ending at the star's request. Will got 2 Golden Globe Award nominations and even served as an executive producer for the final season. Let's discuss Will's ascension into his film career. Following his small screen success with The Fresh Prince, Will expanded into cinema and really got into his acting bag. Firstly with Where the Day Takes You in 1992. His first leading role was in the film version of John Guare's successful stage play, 6 Degrees of Separation in 1993. However, the action comedy thriller Bad Boys in 1995 proved to be the turning point in his film career. The movie was not a critical success, but it still made more than $100 million worldwide, proving Smith's star power. In 1996, Will appeared in that year's top-grossing movie, Independence Day. The following year, he hit the box office again with the science fiction comedy Men in Black, for which he also recorded the Grammy-winning title song. Sequels appeared in 2002 and 2012. In 1997, Smith released his first solo album, Big Willie Style, which included the hit Getting Jiggy With It. He followed it 2 years later with Willennium. After appearing in the dramatic thriller Enemy of the State in 1998, Smith demonstrated his remarkable versatility as an actor. He played an enigmatic golf caddy in The Legend of Bagger Vance in 2000, the boxer Muhammad Ali in the movie Ali in 2001, for which he received an Academy Award nomination. He played a cop in I, Robot in 2004, and a date doctor that helps a romantically inept man find love in Hitch in 2005. The following year, he starred in The Pursuit of Happiness alongside his son, Jaden, and his performance as a single father who overcomes adversity earned him a second Oscar nomination for Best Actor. He also starred in I Am Legend in 2007. Smith appeared as a scientist who was perhaps the last human on Earth following an epidemic. Hancock in 2008 featured Smith as a superhero trying to revive his image. 7 Pounds, also in 2008, where he played a man searching for redemption after accidentally killing 7 people in a car accident. Later, Will again played alongside his son Jaden in the science fiction epic After Earth in 2013, based on his idea. In 2015, Smith portrayed a con artist in the thriller Focus and the doctor who discovered the epidemic among NFL players in Concussion. In 2016, he played the assassin Deadshot in the action thriller Suicide Squad, and then a grieving father in Collateral Beauty. The following year, he starred as a police officer in the Netflix action film Bright, which is set in Los Angeles, inhabited by humans and mythical creatures. Smith was then cast as the genie in the family comedy Aladdin in 2019. The same year, he played 2 roles in Gemini Man, a retired assassin, and his younger clone, the latter a digitally regenerated version of Smith in his 20s. Smith's other work in 2019 included the animated Spies in Disguise. He voice acted a pigeon. Smith then starred in Bad Boys for Life in 2020, a sequel to his 1995 breakthrough film. In 2021, Smith took the title role in King Richard, a biopic about the father of tennis stars Serena and Venus Williams. His acting was critically acclaimed, and Will received the Oscar for Best Actor. Smith continued his rap career with the albums Born to Reign in 2002 and Lost and Found in 2005, but they didn't receive as much success as his previous releases. Will then went on to produce several films, including some in which he acted with his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. He created and produced the sitcom All of Us, which ran from 2003 to 2007. In 2018, he hosted the documentary TV series One Strange Rock. Will also released his first book in the form of a memoir in 2021 entitled Will, with the help of Mark Manson. Let's talk about a few world records he holds that you may not have known about. Between 2002's Men in Black 2 and 2008's Hancock, Will released 8 movies in a row that grossed $100 million in the United States. No other actor since has performed in more consecutive films with this monetary box office success. That's not all. Smith also starred in Sony Pictures' highest grossing R-rated movie, Bad Boys for Life. Seems like Will has done a tremendous job of picking out the best roles for himself. Aside from turning down the role as Neo in The Matrix and performing in Wild Wild West, which was arguably a tremendous flop. Another thing Will's fans have always admired is his strong work ethic. The actor has often stated that not status, fame, or fortune leads to success, but our willingness to keep pushing to improve ourselves. Here's just a few interesting things. In The Pursuit of Happiness, Will's character plays with a Rubik's Cube, Ever the professional, Will wanted to master the scene. So the actor perfected the art by practicing tirelessly until he could solve the puzzle in just 55 seconds. Will also has a passion for chess. He thanks his father for teaching him to play, commenting that it taught him crucial principles of living life, including a few that he tries to pass on to his own children. He says the elements and concepts of life are perfectly illustrated on a chessboard. Whatever move you're going to make in your life to be successful, you have to accurately assess the next couple of moves. Like, what's going to happen if you do this? Because once you've made your move, you can't take it back. The universe is going to respond. Let's talk about Will's personal life. Will has been married twice. The first marriage to Cherie Zampino in 1992. It lasted for 3 years and they had a son, Willard Smith III, also known as Trey, who was born in 1992. He has been married to actress Jada Pinkett Smith since 1997. The couple's son, Jaden, was born in 1998 and their daughter, Willow, was born in 2000. Will Smith raised his kids to be as productive as he is. Today, they all have established personas in their own right. Trey is Will's firstborn and oldest child. Trey has starred in TV shows like All of Us and music videos with his siblings Jaden and Willow, including Find You Somewhere by Ace. He also released his own album, Best Wishes, in 2020. Will has been honest about his previously fractured relationship with his son following his divorce from Trey's mum, Cherie. Will shared he and Trey have struggled for years. Will wrote, "He felt betrayed and abandoned. It is a wild blessing to recover and restore a loving relationship with my beautiful son." Today, Trey has a good relationship with his dad, whom he calls his best friend, as well as his step-siblings and Jada, who he calls his bonus mum. Willow is Will's only daughter. Like her father, Willow is a multi-hyphenate, singer, actress, rapper, and dancer. Willow made her acting debut next to her dad in his 2007 sci-fi horror film I Am Legend. She has since starred in other films including Kit Kittredge, An American Girl, and Madagascar 2. Today, Willow hosts Red Table Talk with her mum and grandmother, Adrienne Banfield Norris. Willow also developed her music career, beginning with her debut single, Whip My Hair, back in 2010. She has since expanded her style, releasing her fourth studio album, Lately I Feel Everything, in 2020. Willow toured with Billie Eilish on her upcoming Happier Than Ever world tour before hitting the road for her own tour. Like his father and his siblings, Jaden is in the music and entertainment business, but primarily focuses on music these days. He made his acting debut in his dad's 2006 drama film, The Pursuit of Happiness. Also starring opposite his dad again a few years later in the 2013 apocalyptic film, After Earth. He also starred in the 2010 remake of The Karate Kid and did a voiceover for the Netflix series Neo Yokio. His last album is CTV3, Cool Tape Volume 3. A frequent collaborator with his musician sister, Jada and Willow have released a few songs together, including Summertime in Paris and You Know. Will shares that he considers his youngest son to be fearless and reveals how that could sometimes be terrifying as a parent. Will says, Jaden is 100% fearless. He will do anything. So as a parent, it's scary, really terrifying. But he is completely willing to live and die by his own artistic decisions. He just doesn't concern himself with what people think. So how did Will meet Jada? They met when she auditioned for a role as Smith's character's girlfriend in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Together, they have built a home, a life, and company producing films through their joint production company, Overbrook Entertainment and Westbrook Inc. Smith and Jada have expressed unconventional practices in their marriage, jokingly calling their commitment Bad Marriage for Life. Will and Jada have been rumoured and even at times have admitted to having extramarital sexual relationships with other people and even other couples. and believe in the freedom to pursue them. Just last year, Jada got outed for having an affair with R&B singer August Alsina, however, labeling the relationship an entanglement when confronted. Will later commented, admitting to an open relationship with Jada. Will even once shared he wanted a polyamorous relationship with actress Halle Berry and ballerina Misty Copeland at one point. Ultimately, he abandoned the idea after therapy. So, let's discuss the Oscars. Just in case anyone didn't hear, here's a quick recap. Controversy began when Rock appeared on stage to present the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature. During his introduction, Rock joked about a possible G.I. Jane sequel about Jada Pinkett Smith's bald head. Jada suffers with alopecia and she has been very open about discussing her condition. It is an autoimmune skin disease that can cause hair loss on the scalp, face, or other body areas. Will first laughed at Rock's joke. By his expression, it looked like he initially thought it was just a very light dig, thinking it was funny like everyone else in the audience. However, Jada didn't think so in the slightest. By the way she rolled her eyes in an incredulous fashion, it was clear she was not impressed. Seeing his wife being upset, Smith walked up onto the stage and dramatically and savagely slapped Rock in the face, and then returned back to his seat, leaving the crowd to wonder whether it was scripted or not. "Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me," Rock announced to the audience. Some vulgar words were uttered to Chris from Will in defense of his wife, and Rock was left composed but embarrassed at the violation that had just took place upon him. Following the attack, Will was banned from the Oscars for 10 years. Despite all of this, he still got his first ever Oscar for the movie King Richard that night. Later, Will Smith apologized in a YouTube video titled, "It's Been a Minute." In the video, Smith answers why he did not apologize to Rock during his acceptance speech. Will says that he was, quote-unquote, fogged out by that point. Everything was fuzzy. My behavior was unacceptable and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. We had a great relationship. Tony Rock was my man. And this is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment. And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults.
Rock initially didn't answer the apology exactly, The message that came back is that he isn't ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. However, Rock, as of late, has shared that he does not respect Will's apology in the slightest, going as far to even refer to him as Suge Smith in recent comedy shows, and even saying, quote, "fuck your hostage video," in response to Will's apology. So it's not looking too fresh for Will Smith currently. Will has also apologized to Rock's family, specifically to Rock's mother and brother, Tony Rock. Will this drama be sorted out in the near future? That is the question. Will Smith has had an incredible career, gaining successes, achievements, and accolades that one could only dream of. Winning Grammys, Oscars, being casted in some of Hollywood's finest roles, and ultimately carving a name for himself. Yes, he has had ups and downs, trials and tribulations. The way he assaulted Chris Rock on stage that night at the Oscars was unacceptable and reckless by anyone's standards. However, one page or chapter doesn't define the entirety of a book. But what do you guys think? Leave your opinion in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you don't miss an upload, and you can enjoy the excellent content we send your way. Until next time, this is The Genesis.